Hello all and welcome back. I'll be trying to talk in a British accent to match the book. Don't know how well it'll work, but whatever. Today's book we'll be discussing is called Atonement by Ian McEwan. This book is about a young girl named Briony who witnesses a flirtation in 1935 between her older sister Cecilia, or C, and the son of a servant named Robbie. So because of her incomplete grasp of adult motives and wild imagination, she sees a crime that will change everyone's lives and repercussions that will be felt through World War II and into the 20th century. Quote, "Then the world, the social world, was unbearably complicated with 2 billion voices and everyone's thoughts striving in equal importance, and everyone's claim on life as intense, and everyone thinking they were unique when no one was. Personally, I thought that was a cool thought." The next subject will be on an observation, of Victorians. Quote, "A baffled and severe folk, a lost tribe who arrived at the house in black cloaks, having wandered peevishly for 2 decades in an alien, frivolous century." I am sure that if there were Victorians now that heard that, they would be peeved. Quote, "A few insects gyrating above a candelabra. It was the visual impression of an even deeper darkness beyond the light that drew them in. Even though they might be eaten, they had to obey the instinct that made them seek out the darkest place." That is a very cool and interesting idea, I thought. So at one point, when the police are interviewing Briony, not yet, it seemed like they were leading her a bit. They were trying to help her, but also making it easier for her to accuse. Yeah. Quote, "For 3 years she must have nurtured a feeling for him, kept it hidden, nourished it with fantasy, or embellished it in her stories. Here's the kicker. She was the sort of girl who lived in her thoughts. The drama by the river might have been enough to sustain her all that time." The she that was spoken of is Briony. Actually, her name is pronounced Briony, like a brined shrimp. I was not a fan of her at all. Next, quote, "She came away humiliated and felt a hollow sensation spreading in her stomach. The moment the war touched her life, at the first moment of pressure, she had failed. If she was made to carry another stretcher, she would not make it to the elevator in Yankee terms. But if she was told to, she would not dare refuse. If she dropped her in, she would simply leave and go to Scotland and work as a land girl. It would be better for everyone." I could not abide Briony. I just couldn't stand her. She was always in her mind and always about herself. And here is another quote that is just totally Briony. "When a soldier Briony was looking after was in great pain, she was touched by an impersonal tenderness that detached her from the suffering, so that she was able to do her work efficiently and without horror. That was when she saw what nursing might be, and she longed to qualify, to have that badge. She could imagine how she might abandon her ambitions of writing and dedicate her life in return for these moments of elated, generalized love." It was still about herself there, always about herself. She was obviously just, I didn't pick a bug up, I was just scratching, sorry. She was just always about herself, it seems, since she was born. Maybe always, obviously always in her head, because she, you know, she was intelligent, but maybe if you're intelligent, you also need to get out and expose yourself to others and other things so that you don't become like Bryony. No one wants to be a Bryony. So I gave the story a 3 out of 5. The story itself was amazing, and the love story between C and Robbie was so beautiful. Bryony was just so bloody infuriating that I wanted to throttle her, and she detracted a lot from me from the story because I just wanted to throttle her every time she was spoken of. But it's still a delightful story, very good, very well written, and you should read it. And they obviously made a movie of it. Quite a few big names: Benedict Cumberbatch, Keira Knightley, James McAvoy, Saoirse Ronan. That movie is actually still on Netflix. This is what's playing in the background, so definitely check it out. Read the book first and then watch the movie. And I was very surprised that the movie followed so closely along with the book. Sometimes you don't get that, or there's a mix-up in between, or it just doesn't flow well, but this one flowed amazingly. So if you can get past Bryony, the story is fantastic, but you know, when you're reading about C and Robbie and other things, you're like, yes, this is wonderful, but then Bryony comes in and it's like she just smudges a cow patty all over what you've just read, and you want to throttle her for screwing up your, you know, beautiful story in your mind. I'm very torn about this. I like the book, but Bryony is annoying. But if it wasn't for her, the book wouldn't be, you know, whatever. So it was a good book. Give it to read, see what you think. And that is the end of my English accent. I kind of went to Cockney and Scottish. I'm not sure what the hell happened because, you know, I'm American and I sound like this, and English accents apparently are not my forte. So, the closest I could get to figuring out something that kind of matched Atonement was having the movie play, obviously, in the background. And I thought, you know, maybe a lace shirt, because it was in the 40s, late 30s, early 40s, so I thought, you know, lace would be nice, you know, because they wore fancy linens back in that time. Yeah, this is as fancy as I get usually. Anyways, so the next book I'm going to be reading is called Motherless Brooklyn by Jonathan Lethem. I have heard it's good, and also a drama, fiction drama, but this one is more comedic as opposed to straight up drama like it was in Atonement. So we'll be discussing that one soon. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or add, you know, question, whatever, and I will see you guys next time.